Good morning, campers. This is Crusader Rabbit KBNY5962 starting our broadcasting day. Today, for your viewer enjoyment, we're going to be bringing you a Zorki copy of a Leica camera and Leica lens. And I bought this from a gentleman in Ukraine. It came in this very lovely leather camera case. And if we pop it open here, there's no like lush velvet lining on the inside. It's kind of like rough leather, but it's reinforced. It's really seems like very well made. And to unsecure the camera from the case, there's a little, this screws into the tripod mount on the bottom of the camera, so you just have to undo this guy. I believe I just heard it. Yeah, okay. So we should be able to extract the camera from the case now. Nice tight fit. Case smells really nice. You can see more of the double construction, double leather construction of the case. Really nicely built. Smells like a very nice leather smell to it. Old, I'm guessing like 1980s leather, because what we have is a camera branded 1980 Moscow 22nd Olympia. And this was billed as the export version of the camera. I have seen versions of this camera where Moscow, 22nd Olympia Olympics is in Russian, but this isn't. This is somewhat in English. And then I don't know if the serial numbers of Leica copies are similar to of Zorki cameras are similar to Kiev, like a Kiev 4, but in a Kiev 4, the first two numbers of the serial number represents the year of production. I don't know if it's the same for this camera, the Zorki, maybe you can tell me down in the comments, but this has an 80, kind of corresponding to this 80, so I'm guessing that this camera was manufactured in 1980. That may or may not be correct. Don't really know. So, kind of like, and then the camera came with lens cap, nice Zorki lens cap. And then it came with a collapsible. Can we read it? Read it here. Industar, there we go. Industar 50. And then if you look over, like right here, I don't know if you can tell that it's red, but there's like a little red Russian letter P there, which I believe indicates that the lens is supposed to have like a special coating on it. And it's 5 centimeter, and it's 3.5 to f3.5 to f16. And I don't know if you can see it's very smooth. Maybe if I get my thumb out of the way, you can see the aperture blades open and close. It's very nice and smooth. And I have taken this camera out for a run around the block, and the setting does. It's smooth moving. There's no clicks or dents in it. But it does stay put. I put it on f16. It stayed on f16 the whole way. Also with this lens, this is like the only lens that I've ever purchased from Russia or Ukraine, like Industar, that has the actual working infinity lock. All the other ones don't seem to have the little spring-loaded bullet tip top to them. that allows it to. I don't know if I can get it here. There's like a little indentation there, and then when this rolls over, it kind of locks into place to infinity lock. You have to press down on this in order to unlock it. The ones that the lenses that I've always received have like this bottom barrel part, but don't have the little locking part. And the focus on this is nice and smooth. And this is the Leica thread mount, LTM mount on this camera. And if we look at the camera, we can see there's like the frame counter, exposure counter, exposed frame counter beneath the shutter cocking mechanism and film advance. And then we have the shutter release. We have the little switch that goes between advance mode and rewind mode. You have your rewind over here that also pops up when you want to go into rewind mode. And then we have our shutter setting right here. And with this camera, you definitely want to rewind, or not rewind, you want to advance to the next frame and cock the shutter before you set your shutter speed. And it's kind of hard to see there with the glare. I wonder if this is coming out. So right now it's set about 500. You see, like when I take a picture, it moves, and it's set to 500, but it's no longer set to 500 once the shutter is released. But then when you cock the shutter, it's then back to 500. So that's what the shutter sounds like. Nice. And it doesn't have the slow shutter speed dial. And the shutter speeds go from 1/20th of a second to 1/500th of a second. And there's a Z/B on it also, setting. So that's the top of the camera, I believe. Bottom of the camera, you have your tripod mount, and you have your door bottom locking mechanism that's clearly marked in Russian which way to turn to open and which way to turn to close. So this way to open, and there's no little picture like you get on a Leica, and you have your film rewind or film take up spool in there. And then to close, you just simply close, flip this over, and the base is secure. On the back, the thing I actually love about this camera is, I believe the gentleman refurbished it. The vulcanite leatherette looks like it's in absolutely glittering, marvelous shape. The rangefinder part has like a really nice. You can see the rangefinder dot there, right? That yellow circle, just absolute. I mean, I'm in kind of dim light here, and also the viewfinder is also nice and crystal clear. You can kind of see how you can see the barrel of the camera there through the viewfinder when it's fully extended, just a little bit. Let me, yeah, it kind of like peeks through just a little bit. If I take my, yeah, okay. Actually, I'm not seeing it. I think I remember seeing a little bit of that when I was out taking pictures around the block. So I'm not quite sure if this is a Leica 2C copy. It's a little more primitive than my Leica 3F red dial. There is no. What is there? No. Oh, one thing there's no of. There's no strap lugs on it. However, if you tow it around with the case does come with a strap. So I guess you could do something there. Although it doesn't really, the case is like fitted, it doesn't detach the front part. So you would be left with the front part kind of hanging. So anyway, that's one thing that's different would be the film rewinder. The other thing is the diopter control for the rangefinder. There is no diopter control, which I absolutely love on the Leica 3F, Leica 3s. Unfortunately, this does not have it, so it's missing a couple of features, but otherwise seems to be in really marvelous working shape. And I shot a roll of film with it. And let me go get the roll of film really quick here. It's hanging up drying, but it should be done drying. So let me just grab it here really quick. Be right back. Just got to go down to the basement here. Get the and let's see. What do we have here? We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I got 24 exposures out of this roll. Pretty amazing since I have to like trim it a little bit, but they look fairly reasonable. The developer I have is a little on the old side, so maybe the negatives are getting a little thin, and I need to switch to a new bottle of developer. But I think for a test roll, this came out very nice. Let me put that down for a second. So I think that's probably about all we're going to talk about with this camera. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments. If I've made any horrible errors, please go ahead and put it down in the comments. And I would like to thank you for watching the video, sticking through it for about 13 minutes. At the end of this, I will go ahead and scan in that roll that I just showed you and tack it on to the end of this video. So, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. This is Crusader Rabbit KBNY 5962, ending our broadcasting day. Good night, campers.